Hi, everybody. I want to go over the argumentative research essay to give you a little bit more about how to be successful on this paper. This one is going to use all the sources that you have accumulated throughout the course. So you found 2 in the exploratory essay, 2 in the comparative essay. You found 3 more and you did article evaluations on them. And now you're putting all of this together in your argumentative research essay. And now you are taking a position on this issue. One thing I will say is in the instructions for this week, there is a little document that talks about the organization of your paper, and you should read through that. We didn't make you create an outline or a planner. There just isn't enough time to do that, so you're going to go right into the essay, but you want to see how it is supposed to be organized. So read that document, which will kind of walk you through the paper. All right, and then there's also a sample paper that's given to you so you can also see about format and structure and so forth. So I do want to point out a couple of things. After your introductory paragraph in which you introduce the issue, show how it's debatable, and end with your position, you are going to have a background section. This needs to give a little overview of the sort of timeline or historic trends of the issue. So kind of where it began, some key events or issues that have developed, and sort of where we are today. You may be able to get this from all of the information that you already have from your articles, but if you really don't have an overview, and this isn't arguing one side or another on the issue, this is just showing how the issue began, how it's developed, and where it is today. One place you may be able to get help is in SIRS. If you can find that your issue is in SIRS, you will see that below the issue and the articles on the 2 viewpoints, there is a timeline, and that will give you lots of dates and events. Obviously, you don't want to just copy this, but that would give you some more information, and you can cite that information. There's a cite button in the timeline. Be sure you're on APA. It's a little bit not quite correct, but it's pretty close. So you can perhaps get information there. If not, you may want to just Google history or overview of your issue and get some more information. Of course, any additional sources you find you need to list on your references. All right, so you're going to go through that sort of timeline. Then you're going to promote at least 3 of your reasons to support your claim, and you'll give a heading, a short heading, to illustrate each one. Make sure you do talk about the point first in your paragraph, and then give your information using at least 2 different sources for each of those claims. So there's the first claim, second claim, third claim. If you may certainly add a 4th claim if you can, and that will help you with the length requirement. All right, the next section is the counter argument, and you'll have a heading to indicate that. Please make sure that your topic sentence clearly shows that this is the counter argument. Otherwise, it will sound like you're arguing against yourself. So make sure you make that clear in your sentence structure. And you'll give information that supports the other side, and then you'll have a section on the rebuttal. Again, you'll have a heading, and you're responding directly to that counter argument and giving some additional information. Remember that this paper is primarily a research-based paper, so rather than just spouting off your opinion, you are showing the information that you got from your sources to support these ideas. All right, and then you'll have a conclusion where, again, you'll address the issue, your position, and recap the reasons why your position is compelling. So your references page needs to be, as I said, at least on page 9, and you need to have something on page 8 of your essay. And then, of course, make sure that you have the hanging indent. If you don't, that will give you an unacceptable on the APA part of the rubric. So please make sure that you learn or figure out how to do that hanging indent. Look at my feedback on any of your sources to try to help you with formatting of the particular sources, and then list your 6 or 7 sources in alphabetical order by the first keyword, which is usually the author's last name. So you can see B, D, then H, M, S here on the sample. So make sure they are arranged alphabetically. Okay, so length requirement is one thing that I'm particularly concerned about, and also make sure that you use the hanging indent and that you do have that background section in your paper. All right, good luck, and if you have any questions, contact me.